Okay, we're going to begin moving into geometrical optics, but before we do that, it's important to talk about light in two different ways. That we'll talk about light as a wave, and particularly as a wave front, and then also we'll talk about light as a ray. And both of those will be useful as we talk about geometric optics. That is how light travels through refractive surfaces, lenses, and different glass, different type of objects, transparent objects. So wave fronts emanate outward from a source of light at the speed of light. Remember that speed of light? Oops, sorry, I got two G's in there. Speed of light was that C value, that 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. And so if I have a point source here, I'll have, like, say, a light bulb. Light will move outward from that in all directions with the same intensity, with the same brightness. Now, rays are parallel at large distances from the source. So if I imagine that I'm sitting right here, these two rays are obviously not parallel. And likewise, if I imagine the sun, if I'm standing right up next to the sun, those rays are obviously not parallel. However, when I'm a really far distance away, the light rays that I encounter from the sun, because it's so far away, basically appear parallel. They were really close together at the surface of the sun. They've diverged some by the time they get to the Earth, but they're basically parallel. So when I'm a really large distance from the source, like say the sun and the Earth, then my rays are parallel. Now that doesn't mean that I have to be 93 million miles away from my source, because in the lab too I can approximate that my rays are parallel. When we consider light, rays of light, we draw light as lines perpendicular to the wavefront. Perpendicular just means at 90 degrees too. So imagine my light source really far away is over here. And over here, you know, these light rays are not parallel, but by the time they get over here, they are parallel. And so this is going to be, if I imagine these parallel light rays, this is going to be what I'm going to call my wavefront. And we'll use this wave picture, this wavefront. You can think of it like the whales in the Frozen video, the killer whales that killed that poor seal, that they produce a wave that sort of travels at the front of their noses. And that's sort of like what this is, where all those is perpendicular to all the little rays of light. This is important because we'll use this wave picture in discussing refraction, which is the bending of light, and you'll know sort of what I'm talking about when we get there. And then we're going to use the ray idea, or the ray picture of light, the ray analogy, in discussing reflection. And we'll see both of those as we get into geometric optics, which we'll do next.